let's go kill ourselves another boss. Thief, the best. Best at dying. Against enemies with relatively low absorb, he does do more damage than the fighter. Or he has, there have been points where he did more damage than the fighter did, so. Like early game, he was doing double damage to the fighter for quite a while. Used all my Firas. Alright, so we'll go Northwest Castle. We'll use... You know, I'll save the cottage, I'll use the tents. The tents are like 10% the price of a cottage. So I'd rather use like 2 of these than a single cottage if I try to save money, basically. Yeah, red mages can get kind of low HP growth too, surprisingly. White mages are usually a lot more reliably good at getting HP for some reason. Even though red mages should have more. They often do not. Alright, let's kill ourselves an evil elf. I definitely like the run feature diagonally, that's nice. Mwahaha! You fools fell into my trap. Yeah, but if I can defeat the monsters of Marsh Cave, and that's the crown you needed, we must be stronger than you. With the powers of a crown and an eye, I will become... Yeah, I mean... I don't know about that. Let's enjoy this music for a second before we get into it. I think the displayed numbers for hit percent and evasion percent are not the full values behind the scenes. I bet you there are still numbers in the background that work a lot more like how they did in the original. They just don't show you the original versions of it, the full number. Oh, he's probably got rub or whatever it's called. I would expect. Alright, well, I didn't get null fire or silence, but he does have or null. He's got like all the level 2 spells, right? So yeah. Good turn order. At least Thundera won't be quite as bad. 25 damage from the thief. 102 damage from the fighter. Good. And try to keep Nim alive. Well, he did not start with his kill spell, so... Everyone's got some cool shades. I don't know for sure if these stack, but they might. Not good for those damage dealers. So they maybe nerfed Astos a little bit. He's not doing AoE damage and death spells like he normally does. He's doing a bunch of debuffs. Well, I should have picked up Lamp or whatever it's called. Too bad for me. Well, let's see if we can do a bit of damage to him. I mean, Temper usually stacks. We haven't tested anything out yet, so... Let's just do a round of attacks, see how this goes. Seeing as now he's just wasting our time. Well, that's gonna suck. At least he's still got the same old slow spell. Oh, he's dead anyway. Alright. Exclamation point, answer, space, whatever you want the answer to be. Alright, good gold, more gold than I remember Astos usually giving you, honestly. 2,000 is a lot. And level up. Yeah, darkness, pretty garbage. Slow, very effective, as usual, but too slow. He needed to cast it a bit faster. or the spell fast would have worked. Okay, 12,000 golds. We've got a lot of fetch questing to go do now. I think I'll save my shopping trip till after we're done. Oh look! Nim finally got some hit points. Yeah, it's like the mod of balance one or whatever it's called on the GBA. It's a pretty good mod. Adds extra classes and makes the Game Boy Advance version is pretty easy, so adding a bit of difficulty was not a bad idea, honestly. Alright, how are we doing for spell slots? We got lots. Given how large the sea encounters have been, and regular, I definitely want to have lots of Thundares for this part of the trip. There are a lot of NES FF1 ROM hacks. I have definitely not checked them all out, but I know there's some good ones for sure. I just like the randomizer. The randomizer is a lot of fun. Yeah, Power Peninsula disappearing was sad. I prefer spell slots for sure. I generally prefer the design of the original for most things, except for like buying multiple items at once. Too far east. I mean, I played the NES version as a kid, so it has a certain nostalgic appeal, and it's hard to shake that for me. Hey, Crazy Town, Crazy Horse. We should fight some crazy horses. Make sure they're in my bestiary. We never did figure out the B left button that the brooms talk about. Same translation as the Game Boy Advance or Dawn of Souls version. Cancel and L1. I guess it's just another shortcut to the map. Is that all? Maybe it only works when you're in a dungeon. Because from the map, there's just a button you press that takes you there. The map button. That's probably all it is. I was hoping there'd be like a cool... I've heard the ship minigame is still in it, but I didn't really want to mess around. It might be different. It might not be a sliding picture puzzle. I'll check it out at some point. Alright, so crown, crystal, herb, and then we go get the key, and then we can get a bunch of loot. Once we have a bunch of gold and treasure from all the armories, then we'll look at how much money we've got and sort of how much, where we want to go shopping next, basically. Yeah, the rewards, I remember the speed run for the Dawn of Souls version, there was like a whole bunch of gimmicks to get some like emergency exits and high gold value rewards, so that speedrunners did a lot of messing around trying to win the minigame in a certain order so that they would get a chance at getting the speedrun items. It was a big mess. Big mess. Fun, maybe, but I was not a huge fan of that mechanic. I do like having that mini-map, though. I don't expect most of us old school, you know, if you played the NES version, you already know where everything is, right? Like, if you've played Final Fantasy 1 before, you already kind of know the drill. But for new players, the mini-map is, like, I feel like that's a nice addition. I also like that I can just tap auto battle and it speeds up the animations a bit. It's better than nothing. Let me put it to slightly bigger mode. You can see what I'm talking about. Laminating those old manual maps from the NES, that would have been smart. I just used them until they fell apart, basically. Town Transitions is slower than the NES randomizer version, anyway. We never actually... I can't force myself to talk to all the people in this game. I've played it too many times to really fully test the dialogue of everybody. I assume it's the same translation as Dawn of Souls, and it's probably fine, but I don't know. I've just played this game too many times to really talk to everybody. The Legendary Warriors. Thanks for the Mystic Key. It's not like he could have... Like, he was sleeping. Couldn't we have just grabbed it from him without having to go do all this marsh nonsense? Wouldn't that be better? Alright, to the secret armory. Oops. I'm just a farmer. Yeah, some of the NPC dialogue is pretty good. I know the first time I played it, I spent a lot of time, like, reading everything. Bronze claws? Gloves. I just read it wrong. Yeah, I don't think the White Mage is ever going to do much with the hammers, but might as well give them. Okay, save the shopping for later. You know what? Because I'm a cool dude, I will go back to Northwest Castle and I'll do the 3 chests because there's the power staff, a bunch of money. We'll do all the lock chests. Like I said, I kind of want 100% it anyway, so I don't mind. So we might as well buy some spells while we're here, and then we'll make a bunch of money for the level 5 spells as we clear things out. I don't think I'm ever going to use the normal heal spell, so Null Blaze is probably a bit better. Although, to be honest, I was expecting Astos to do Fire 2, Lightning 2, Ice 2, Death. Garbage. I'm not even gonna waste the money. No armor to buy. Items, maybe. We'll see how much money we have left over after we buy Haste and Blizzard. Yeah, we probably spend most of our gold now getting up to level 4 spells. And then we might want to save up for, like, the silver stuff. Oh, I wonder if you can, replace spells that you've already learned. And those white magic spells are so bad. Yeah, so ever since the Dawn of Souls version, you've been able to free up one of your spell slots, which definitely makes Red Mage a little bit better. And if you ever want to switch out a spell, there is the option to switch it out. That's a nice feature. Was not in the NES version, but definitely not a bad thing to add in, I find. Now is about the time when we can get all the items to cover annoying status afflictions. Couple Phoenix Downs. A few more Ethers. Some emergency high potions. And then some cheap potions. Sure. That's like all the items we'll need for a fair while. That should get us probably through Earth Cave. But we are going to go back to Marsh because, you know, locked chests, right? I'm kind of annoyed that the fighter is still not one-shotting ogres. Usually by now in the NES version you have a silver sword and the fighter is very reliably killing ogres in one shot. Just 100 damage, it's not that bad, but... Well, there's the 100 damage, but I guess ogres have more defense than a wolf. So one thing that I was thinking, with no Power Peninsula for grinding, one of the better early to mid-game grinds will be now, even more than before, the mummy tile in here. Yeah, you can move diagonally in the remake. Definitely one of the better features. Come on, guys. Anytime you want to run away from the wolves. So I'll save just in case they surprise me, but one thing I used to do, depending on the party composition, but solo grind sometimes and other grinds. This room is pretty good grind area. Well, there's probably zero need, but... Oh, it's a trap. Right, they don't use the tile, they use the chest. Maybe this is not very grindable then. If you just fight it once and get the item. Usually you could just steal the items. Not so much anymore. But, you know, Dira, getting some value. So we got a rare weapon drop and a boring weapon from the chest. The crossier is, you know, not very good. I don't even know. I guess is that like black belt only? That might be the one that only he can equip or something. I mean, the fighter can equip anything basically, but not good enough. Alright, and the falcon is technically an upgrade for the thief, so there you go, buddy. And we don't want our black belt to die. Black mage. Black something. I mean, monsters in the chest is fine. It's I like having the option to grind on trap tiles, but that's fine. No biggie. Okay, stop killing my shuriken. Go and so I guess with no spike tiles that changes if you were gonna do a solo run it would remove like the Agama grind tile and the volcano and a lot of the good, like the eye tile, a lot of the standard grindy areas. So you'd have to find a different way of getting experience if you're trying to do it solo, but you know, it's probably not a big deal. Alright, so that was some gloves and power staff that's not very good. But it should be worth lots of money to sell at least, so. Value staff. Okay. We're learning. And I will go get those 3 chests at the bottom of ice, or bottom of marsh, because, you know, might as well. How come the thief is doing more damage than the fighter, guys? The fighter is supposed to be our top melee DPS. It's 122 damage thief nonsense. I kind of miss seeing the number of critical hits you get. I haven't been able to notice any difference in the animation, but there must be some times where we're doing higher damage and it's a crit. It's hard to tell what the signal is. We bought a bunch of these, right? You like the new art? Man, I actually thought the thief looked really poor, but that's kind of the thing. I'm really attached to the NES version of the sprites. I think most of the new graphics are really good. I think the character pixel art is a little bit on the weak side. Surely it's more detailed than the NES version, but I'm a little bit worried about the Super Nintendo sprites, like Final Fantasy VI especially, with the larger size sprites. If they are the same as this, that's kind of a downgrade for me. But we'll see. I guess we can probably auto battle this. I mean, the fighter is supposed to have red hair. I don't know what they're doing with all these other colors. Red hair for life. So one advantage of doing this, although it's a bit of a trip and usually it's not worth it, there is a silver bracelet down here, if I remember correctly, which is saving some gold. There is kind of a logic to sprite work when there's very limited, resolution and color choice. The designers have to be very selective in how they design it. Once you add 65,000 color options and, well, there's more, even though it's still pixels, it's more pixels than on NES, let's say. The NES sprites are 8 by 24. Or 16 by 24, I think. This is a lot more than that. Anyway. Oh, that's right, fighting these guys. I forgot. Green slimes have a lot of defense. Oh, look, that was a critical hit. We ignored the high defense, but it didn't say it was a critical hit. But at least he's in our bestiary now. Yeah, not interested. They've got some nice sound effects for different types of monster attacks, too. You can probably get a bit of an idea what enemy is hitting you just by listening to the sound effect once you know. Guys? There's a monster over there. On the map. So that's normally a trap tile, but now there's a monster standing there. Ooh, Blizzara's looking nice. There we go. I'm gonna prioritize that to the mage with half the HP of the other mage. Try to keep Nim alive. It should be fine, but I'm glad I gave them the silver armlet. 57 damage, and that was with the silver armlet. Pretty bad turn order for our party. Alright, so spike tiles are just one. I bet you there's just gonna be one giant, and then you kill him and the trap's gone. That's my prediction. You guys, please don't spoil stuff if you've already played it. Just let the new players and me just experience as we go. I'm sure someone in there in chat's already beaten it, but let us dream, right? Let us dream. Okay, trapped. Oof. If they ever hit Nim twice in a row, completely dead. Alright, you go, Will. Good job hammering things. Just for an antidote? Not worth it. And then this next room is usually empty, but I'll have a look. I guess it would have been nice to wait till we had the warp spell to get out, but that's a long way away. Yeah, empty and no trap tile. There's used to be a trap tile in there, I'm pretty sure. But maybe they just delete some of them. Alright, last room. Sure. That silver hammer is actually doing some work. More than I thought it would. What's her 17 with 2 attacks. The thief is up to 4 strikes, right? The accuracy numbers are definitely tweaked considerably from the original. At some point, I'll just look up probably the new math. Maybe I should like. It's another chance of them not killing Nim on the first round if we get protect off early, kind of, right? But amazing turn order once again. Oh, auto battle was a mistake. Could have wasted. Well, after all that, we do get another level up. Not really grinding exactly. All that for 1,000 gold. We got as much gold from killing the wizards as we did from the chest. Yeah, coming back down to the bottom of this dungeon. This is why I normally don't bother, but. Used all my potions, wow. Well, we made more money than we spent, I guarantee it. Alright, so we get out of here. We'll head back up to Cornelia. Yeah, this is my first run in the new remaster. Just trying to get a feel for what's different and if I like it. So far, so good, though, overall. Yeah, auto battle run is pretty good. I wish you didn't have to set up flee manually once. There should just be a shortcut to flee all. Escape, like, you know, the old LNR from Super Nintendo Final Fantasy is where you just auto run everyone. It seems like maybe the status rate of poison's a little bit high too. You know, I bet you what the difference is the original NES fighter had a really surprisingly high magic defense growth hidden in the background. And even in Dawn of Souls, they nerfed it significantly. So I bet you here, his magic defense is a lot lower than, you know, the NES fighter. So stuff like status attacks like poison come through a lot more than they used to. Whereas the mages have a much higher magic defense, so they get hit and they don't automatically get poisoned. Alright, now we're done with here. We'll never come back. They probably... You know, if I was in charge of the remaster, I probably would have put something better in those locked marsh chests. Given how much of a pain it is to go back there. One of the chests was literally just like a potion. So... You know, they could have upgraded that to maybe like a silver sword, right? That's about a fair price. Given that they cut them out of Elfland, adding a silver sword down there would be alright. You're still better just going to Crescent Lake to buy them, but I wouldn't feel quite so ripped off. So what else we got? We got all the... I mean, I guess I could go to Chaos Shrine and pick up the loot from there and the lock chest as well. That's the Rune Sword and the Were Sword, which, I don't know, maybe they're useful in the remaster. Usually I don't bother, again, but the Thief can equip them, or one of them anyway, so maybe. And then the Dwarven Armory will have the Dragon Sword, which is pretty good. Still no Silver Sword. Another Silver Armlet, I think, in the Dwarven Armory. Some more silver stuff anyway, whatever it is. There's the silver knife. Don't forget to sell this for some bucks. But yeah, mithril knife. Probably worth it. I don't like how they keep changing the names of all the weapons though. I think even between the Dawn of Souls and this one, some of the weapons still changed name again. I mean, don't quote me, but I feel like that's happened again. I should try to keep an eye open for new enemies that we haven't killed in old locations with enemies I never killed, just to fill up the bestiary, basically. I know we never found any Kaizoku on the sea, but I think I've run into all the other normal enemies. I think. We didn't get a trap towel. Usually there's gargoyles there. Maybe this one? Huh, interesting. Alright, well, Rune Blade is still the best we're gonna get for the Thief, other than maybe the Coral Blade in the Earth, but Rune works against mages or something, maybe, for lucky. And temporarily we can use the Werebuster, so some short upgrade. Bestiary clearing. I mean, if they kept them in order, if the bestiary is still listed in the same 150 order of the original game, you can usually figure out by which slot is missing, but you have to know the game pretty well. Alright, to dwarf. We'll just be running from battles for a while. There's a lot of fetch quest cleanup here at the end of the Inner Sea area. So, just to save a little bit of time, we'll kind of... I did go all the way back through Marsh twice, so, you know, we're probably a higher level than we need to be for a while anyway. And then the default design of Final Fantasy even has this double dipping Earth, because you gotta, you know, kill the vampire, get the ruby, and then leave and come back. So there's a fair amount of backtracking in the early game. Not so bad after you're out of there, but southern continents are a little bit repetitive. Definitely enjoying the new music though. No problems with that. It almost doesn't fit with the pixely, like, I mean, it's weird, right? Like, the music makes it seem like it's got the full HD remaster, because it's got all these instruments and stuff. But then the graphics are going for this retro, you know, pixel style, which usually has kind of chiptune, you know, old school music style. It's kind of a weird mix. Do we get the animation we got on the Dawn of Souls, or not this time? So in the Dawn of Souls version, there was a little cutscene where it zoomed in and you saw the canal get exploded. I guess they cut it. Well, the rest of the world is beyond the canal, and somehow someone already drew a map, so are you really that confused about what's on the other side of the canal? Come on, dwarves, get out of your cave. Alright. Bigger helmet. Different swords. Ethers, that's nice. Mithril armor sucks. Alright. So not much. Silver armor is like probably the worst silver weapon. Silver item. But yeah, Worm Killer is the best until you get the silver swords. What'd I say? Helmets. Sure. I don't think it's worth it. And I don't, unless they changed it. Yeah. The thief can't even use silver armor, because why would he? It's so weird. Yeah, he definitely should have flooded the caves. We'll just have to say the Dwarven engineers, they built up some kind of, collapsing... They built like some sort of, you know... As he collapsed the canal, there was a secondary explosion that blocked the Dwarven homeland from being, flooded with, something. Just built a really strong door that holds the water out back. Okay, so we'll stop by Melman's. We might do a tiny little sequence break, sort of, to go to Crescent Lake to buy some better armor and weapons. I always used to do that in the old days, and I don't think it's going to make a drastic difference. And seeing as we're going to spend so long in Earth, it's nice to have some slightly better armor and weapons. Oh, definitely before Dwarf Fort, yeah. All the dwarves would be naked and there'd be a bloodbath down there if this was Dwarf Fortress. Probably about 1 million cats as well. No, I picked them all up. Alright, Melman is looking suitably gross. Weapon shop should be garbage. Technically, the longsword is an improvement, but we're not buying it. Waste of money. Let's sell some garbage. We'll leave our garbage here in Melman, where it belongs. Power staff is still worth a fair amount. It's nice. You know, I should find out. I don't think we can, but I'll find out if you can change weapons mid-combat like some Final Fantasies. Mithril Mail. It actually seems like that's worth more than I remember, but... Alright. Done. I mean, I'm getting achievements for all this stuff I'm doing, just shopping. We're gonna want 2 of these. I think you can find another one somewhere, but... Yeah, it's fine. They're not that expensive. Spells. So usually, originally, they were 8,000. Half price is still pretty good. So Warp, typically class lock behind promotion. I don't know if Bane or Scourge is worth it. So first insta-kill spell you can get, but Poison Elements, I don't know, man. Life is good, but not as good when you can buy Phoenix Downs for cheap. And we'll probably go... I wonder if life is even worth it when you can just buy Phoenix Downs for cheap. Because Diaga is nice in a pinch, and Healera might be worth it. All 4 of these are useful. We might actually skip life. We'll see. I want to save a little bit of money because I want to buy a better sword for J-Curm. And we can buy a buckler for our shuriken. Maybe a little bit more armor for J-Curm if I care. But yeah, we'll go to Crescent Lake. Why not? White Mage is not impressed with having such a poor spell selection in this game. Alright. Quick little sailing trip. Little bit of a sequence break, but, you know, not a big deal. Oh, we need to buy some potions. I used all my potions on our marsh trip. If we're gonna go do Earth Cave, we'll want some free healing. Well, free, but not MP costing healing. I definitely feel like they've buffed the sea encounters. They are more common and larger groups than I remember. At least in my mind, it feels like that's true. I couldn't prove it, but... Oh, good! We actually do need to kill these guys, because, not in bestiary. There we go. Technically, these are all not in our bestiary. You have either... I like the troll sprite. Much more detailed than the original. But honestly, most of these monster sprites are pretty true to the NES version. Just with a little bit more detail and maybe better colors. Also, hey there, Arthur. We've killed these before. Weapon damage starting to get feeling a little bit better now, hitting the 140. Alright, so we can't steal a canoe because we're not playing a randomizer with free items. We might buy some potions, but let's see how much... before we buy this armor, let's check the weapons, because that's the main reason I came here, was to buy a better sword. And I think I talked about this before, but depending on how they've tweaked the accuracy formulas, it might be more important to go with that, you know, +5 accuracy swing than the +2 damage. Yeah, the thief has been keeping up in damage way better than I expected. Yeah, +4 damage. We could go a little bit higher, but we might lose out on an attack. More attacks is better. Alright, 6,800 gold, plus we can sell a bit. We'll probably hold on to the dragon sword, I don't know. It's good against a few enemies, but not much. 2 grand, 2 grand, 2 grand. Everything's 2 grand. See what I got to sell first. I mean, if I sell my cool swords, they're worth a lot, but... Oops. I keep forgetting that you can equip while you're in the store. I mean, I can buy silver gloves and silver helmets. It's not that big of a deal. We've already got 41 defense. We're doing pretty good. We've got the silver armlets. Mages are fully kitted out till we get pro rings and gold bracelets. Thief is the same now. Fighter, well, he's not going to get much until we start getting fire armor and ice shields and stuff. Maybe I'll just save my money at this point. Even though I think there's a couple places, like, I do think you can find a mithril helm and gloves somewhere in one of the random chests. I just don't remember where they are, because it usually doesn't matter. And I play a lot of randomizers, so. Nah, I'm never gonna remember to switch these out. Changed my mind. Just because there are enemies that take extra damage to them doesn't mean I'll ever remember to actually equip them before fighting them. And that just gives me enough money to do all my shopping in one trip. Thanks. We keep getting poisoned, so more of these, please. And I'm considering not even buying the life spells, so better make sure I've got some Phoenix Downs. Haven't used any ethers yet, but eventually. Alright, we're looking pretty stacked. Let's go kill ourselves a vampire and maybe our first fiend finally. I also used to like grinding, coming to Crescent Lake early and then doing a little bit of grinding here before I killed the before I killed the Lich. But I don't think we need to do that today. Oh, we'll kill these guys. So Thief, 67 damage, 4 hits. How does our new silver sword do? Less. 135 for the thief, 92 for the fighter with the silver sword. Wow, that's I did equip it right. Wow. Yep. They've definitely buffed the thief a lot. Oh, this is enough XP. We should probably fight it. Now, if you have... We don't have the Coral Sword, but if you had the Coral Sword, you know, it's a little bit stronger here. But the thing is, usually, by the time those counter-specific enemy-type weapons sort of come online, you generally just start getting strong enough to one-shot them with a normal weapon anyway, so... I generally prefer the better... statistically weapons than the specialized stuff. Although I do need to check if you can change weapons mid-combat. I don't expect you can, but, you know. Yeah. No re-equipping while you're in... Oh. Yes, re-equipping. Oh. Well, that changes it. I feel a little bit bad for selling them, but, yeah, if you can actually change equipment mid-combat, okay. If you're playing along, maybe hold on to that Dragon Sword, because that's a nice little feature. Promoted Red Mage is not much better than a regular Red Mage. But again, it's possible this version has tweaked things. I don't know. I would not expect them to be much different than vanilla, but... The thing is, Red Mage never gets basically level 7 or level 8 spells. And that's where some of the biggest, best spells are, so... And then they kind of fall behind the fighter for armor and weapons pretty quick. And promoting them doesn't really fix that problem for the end game anyway. I mean, they can use the Sun Sword. Sun Sword's pretty good. Oh, that's a change. In the NES version, you can get onto the ship from a not dock tile. You can only get off the ship onto a dock, but you could board it from a non-dock. They have changed that as well. Tiny little minor difference. This is also a new enemy encounter group. You could never have 5 large enemies in the NES version. Neat. Oh, there you go, fighter. 276, new record. Probably took a crit or two, but at least the fighter has the damage record for the moment. So, you've been waiting for this. We've all been waiting for this moment. How does Titan or Giant Alley look? They're probably going to be called Gyguses or something. But...